Welcome to today's Explainer. If you work in IT support, you already know that actually fixing a technical issue, that's really only half the battle. The other half is the endless documentation, the stakeholder updates, the escalation emails, and those dreaded post-incident reports. It can honestly feel like you're a full-time writer instead of an engineer. Well, today, we're going to show you exactly how to reclaim hours of your week. We're diving into a super focused tutorial on using Gemini in Google Workspace to completely automate your incident communication right inside the apps you're already using every single day.
Okay, let's jump straight into a really critical question. Think about your last shift. How much time did you actually spend with your hands on the keyboard, fixing a broken server, patching a vulnerability, or debugging a network issue, versus just typing emails about it? The data on this is actually wild. Research shows a lot of IT professionals spend anywhere from 1 to 3 hours every single day just managing emails and reports. That's a massive chunk of your day totally eaten up by communication overhead. And for an IT pro, that is precious time taken away from high-value problem solving.
It's a classic IT time drain, right? On one hand, you have what you genuinely want to be doing, and frankly, what you're highly trained to do, investigating and resolving those technical issues. But then there's the reality. You're constantly bogged down wordsmithing emails, updating tickets, and drafting these incredibly lengthy incident reports. You're sitting there trying to figure out, does this sound too casual? Is this too alarmist? You're doing spell checks, meticulously formatting timelines. Look, it's a necessary evil to keep stakeholders in the loop, for sure, but it just constantly pulls you away from the real technical work.
All right, scenario 1, instant customer incident updates.
We have absolutely all been there. A critical system goes down, alerts are firing off left and right, and you need to get a reassuring message out to the customer immediately. Imagine you're right there in your Gmail Compose window and the pressure is seriously mounting. Instead of staring at a blank, blinking cursor, you just click the little Help Me Write Spark icon. It's built right into your inbox, literally waiting to help you out.
And notice the prompt here. You really don't need to be eloquent. You just feed the AI a single, messy, straightforward thought, like draft a professional update stating the server is rebooting and ETA is 15 minutes. That's it. You just give it the raw facts, and Gemini takes care of the whole how to say it part, structuring it perfectly for your audience. It just inherently understands the context of a standard IT update.
Now, the contrast here is the absolute game changer. Think about the traditional manual draft. You might spend 10, maybe 15 minutes formatting it, agonizing over the tone to make sure you don't sound panicked, and doing a full proofread before you finally feel okay hitting send. But with Gemini, in about 10 seconds, that single clunky sentence prompt is magically transformed into a polished, professional email that's good to go. Grammar, spelling, tone, Gemini has you covered. You literally just review it, hit send, and get right back to the actual server reboot.
Moving right along to scenario 2, context-rich escalation emails.
So picture this. You've been troubleshooting a super complex problem for an hour, you got this massive sprawling back and forth email thread, and you finally realize you need to hand it off to Tier 3. Now the absolute last thing Tier 3 wants is a forwarded 20-message thread to decipher. This is where the AI really flexes its muscles. Step 1, you open that giant thread. Step 2, you click Summarize, and Step 3, the AI just effortlessly extracts the key details like what exactly failed and what the current status is.
To make this super actionable, you can just drop a prompt right into the side panel. Something like, summarize this thread for Tier 3 escalation and highlight the failed database connection. And here's the cool part. Gemini doesn't just give you some generic summary. It tailors the output specifically for a technical audience. It ensures your escalation email is packed with all the exact technical context, error messages, and details that Tier 3 actually needs to hit the ground running. It saves you the headache of writing a massive transition doc, and it saves them from reading a novel of chat history.
Okay, scenario 3, drafting SOPs from bullets. We're jumping over to Google Docs now to tackle what is arguably the most dreaded task for any engineer, the standard operating procedure. You just figured out a brilliant, complex fix, and boom, your manager immediately wants an SOP for it. Instead of groaning and putting it off for a week, check out this workflow. Step 1, just brainstorm a messy, raw, bulleted list while the fix is still fresh in your mind. Step 2, open the Gemini side panel. Step 3, tell Gemini to turn those scribbled notes into a formal SOP. Just like that, you transform raw, scattered knowledge into a polished organizational asset in seconds.
And you are going to love this. One of the most powerful capabilities Google introduced is Match Doc Format. You completely bypass manually applying all your company's styles to make a document look official. By simply referencing a previous already approved SOP,
Gemini actually mirrors that reference document's layout, its fonts, the colors, and even structural elements like headings and table columns. So your new SOP automatically matches your company's existing visual templates flawlessly. It genuinely looks like you spent an hour meticulously formatting it when all you did was click a button.
To make things even more consistent across your entire department, you can actually set up custom instructions. Recent updates let you configure up to 1,000 custom instructions in Google Docs. So you can tell Gemini, hey, always use a formal, objective tone, avoid casual language, or make sure every single SOP ends with a clear 3-bullet summary. You set these rules up exactly once, and Gemini strictly enforces them every single time. It guarantees your documentation is perfectly standardized, and you never have to play formatting police again.
Finally, Scenario 4, our climax, the 2-minute P1 postmortem. This is the ultimate test. A massively stressful Priority 1 incident has finally been resolved. Your heart rate is slowly coming back to normal, but of course, everyone is demanding updates right this second. This is where the magic of Workspace truly connects. You just open a new Google Doc and type the @ symbol to instantly reference those messy, frantic notes you took during the outage. Then you tell Gemini, @incident_notes doc generate an internal postmortem and a customer update. And Gemini synthesizes the entire event to draft both of them simultaneously.
Watching this sequence unfold in real time is pretty incredible. At minute 0, the system is finally restored. You open Docs and hit Gemini with that @mention prompt. By minute 1, your comprehensive internal postmortem is fully drafted. And by minute 2, you've already jumped over to Gmail, used a similar prompt, and your customer update is sent. Done.
2 minutes. Literally 2 minutes is all it takes to handle the critical post-incident paperwork that traditionally would have easily taken an hour of digging through chat logs, trying to piece together a timeline, and carefully wordsmithing apologies. It's an absolute game changer for incident management. It completely removes the dread of the post-resolution paperwork.
Which really brings us to the ultimate question. I'll leave you with this thought. When you finally eliminate all of this busy work, the endless drafting, the meticulous formatting, the thread summarizing, the constant context switching, your team's true technical potential is finally unlocked. So with all that communication overhead completely gone, what complex, high-value problems will your IT team investigate with their newly reclaimed time? That is the real power of Gemini and Workspace. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer. I hope you found it a valuable tutorial, and we'll catch you on the next one.